So welcome to another technology video. So today we are going to be looking at the Acer Aspire 5. It's an A515-56 15.6 inch laptop. Comes with an Intel Core i5 processor and a 512 gig SSD drive, and it's a 15.6 inch screen. So let's get this unboxed. Just want to say as well, happy Christmas to everybody. Hope you've all had a good as break as you can possibly have in terms of COVID. So what have we got in the box here? So we've got a usual power brick adapter. Let's see what the wattage is on here. Can't quite see it. I think that is probably, not quite sure. We'll have to have a look a bit later on that. But the usual things, UK power adapter. We've got 4 screws here. Okay, so this is for if you want to add an additional SSD drive, basically. So you've got 4 screws here that enables the mounting of the upgrade. So if you want to find out about the upgrade, you can go to go.acer.com/HDD upgrade, and that will give you the ability to find out all of the information of what you need to upgrade it. So I'm assuming that it's got an NVMe drive as the boot drive, and then you've got sufficient space to add an additional drive. So first impressions, this is really nice. This is a soft cloth cover for it. Normally they come in, laptops come in a plastic bag, but that's a nice touch, soft cover. So let's have a look around the device itself. So what have we got on this side? So we've got usual Kensington lock. We've got a USB 3 drive, headphone and speaker jack, all in one there. You've got a battery light, your hard disk light on that side. And then over on this side, we've got a USB Type-C Thunderbolt drive and 2 USB 3 Gen 2 ports there. So that'll be the high-speed USB 3 ports, and HDMI out, and your standard network connection there, which is quite nice. Glad that people are still including a wired network connection, because not everyone has suitable Wi-Fi. Talking of Wi-Fi, this is a Wi-Fi 6 device, so it's the latest Wi-Fi connectivity, which gives you up to 2.4 gigabits a second throughput, providing your infrastructure can support it. And it's got a gigabit Ethernet port. Comes with Bluetooth 5, so the latest implementation of Bluetooth, which is great. So let's talk about the processor. So the processor is an i5, it's 1135 G7 processor, quad core, running at 2.4 gigahertz, boosting up to 4.2 gigahertz. It comes with an 8 meg cache, and the device itself also comes with 8 gig of memory. So nice to see as well that they've got a screen protector over the keyboard, which is great. So the Dell devices that we had a look at recently didn't have anything to protect the screen, so it's nice that they put that in there. And then we've got an appendum for the device itself. Okay, so first impressions, looks very, very nice. Nice finish, thin bezel. It's got an HD webcam as well up the top here. Full 1080p screen. It comes with what I like, a lot of them nowadays, they're actually using the base of the screen to act as a hinge. So that raises the back up slightly for your airflow. So you've got a nice amount of airflow around here, 2 air intakes here. And you can see underneath the back here the copper heat pipe that goes around to protect you there, protect all your implementations. So lifting it up, you can see the back raises up, which is great, so that gives you the airflow there. Also on the back of the keyboard you've got your airflow out there as well. So underneath there we've got the heat device. Okay, so let's get this plugged in and powered up. and then we'll run some tests on it once we've got it booted up and loaded into Windows, which will take 10 to 15 minutes. So we're not going to cover that today, but what we are going to do is we're just going to do the initial switch on just to make sure that that all works correctly, and we'll have another look at the power brick here to see if we can see the wattage on it. Okay, so this is saying 45.1 watts. Seems quite low. There's a small power brick. Obviously doesn't need a huge amount of power, or certainly not as much power as some of the other devices that we've reviewed recently. So let's get that around there. A nice robust plug as well. I quite like these with the side brick on the bit there, which keeps it flush against the side. Very thin pin, so be careful if you are transporting it backwards and forwards a lot. You don't want to be bending that power pin. And then the power switch, top right up here. On the trackpad, on the mouse trackpad, you can see you've got the fingerprint reader built into that there. So graphics, this is Intel graphics. It's the Iris solution, so again the latest offering from Intel. Speaker wise, it's using Acer True Harmony speakers. It doesn't come with a disk drive, it doesn't come with a memory card reader, so if you need those then you're going to need to get yourself like a USB adapter or a Thunderbolt adapter for that. Dual microphones. It's a 3-cell lithium-ion battery, and they're saying you should be able to get 8 hours out of a battery charge, which is good. So it means that you can use it in theory for a whole day without having to plug it in. So if you forget your power adapter and you go off to work, well then you should be covered.
I'm Cortana,
okay.
And I'm here to help.
Let's get Cortana shut off. Okay, so once we've done the initial installation, we'll come back and we'll have a quick look at the features. Okay, so the final part of the setup running through, so let's talk about the build quality. Really good for an Acer laptop. I've always found them a little bit clicky and clunky in the past. The mouse pad or the trackpad that we've got here, there is a noticeable click when you're clicking things, but the keypad is nice soft touch button, so there's no major clicking that comes from that. And you've got all your usual functions across the top on your function keys here, so Wi-Fi off, full brightness, dim the brightness, sleep mode, multiple monitor support, switch off the trackpad, volume up and down, and so on and so forth. So it's all the standard function buttons that you would expect from a laptop. You've also got the numeric keypad over here on the right, which is really good, and pretty much that's all there is to it. Nice thing as well is the thin bezel around the sides, which is good, and implementation of HDMI out is HDMI 2.0, so it's a little bit lower level than what is currently the standard, but will work with most external monitors and projectors, all of that kind of thing. If you want to project your screen, then you've got the ability to do that by connecting up an external device. Okay, so let's now go in and have a look at see what bloatware they provide. In terms of bloatware, what do we mean by that? So we mean all of the stuff that comes bundled with a Windows Home Edition PC. So let's have a look. I can see something straight away on the toolbar along the bottom here. We've got Bookings, Dropbox, Firefox. They seem to, I'm not sure why they've installed Firefox, but that, I guess that they've been paid to do that. Nice to see they've only installed one version of Office 365. A lot of the bigger organisations such as Dell, they give you 5 different language versions, which is a bit of a pain. I can see that they bundled in Norton Security Ultra rather than McAfee that seems to come with everything else. Cyberlink as well, so we'll have to go through and remove some of that stuff because that won't be required. And they give you a free version, but it always tries to push you into buying a license, so we get rid of that software as well. Make sure it's just a stripped down version and only providing the basics that they absolutely need. So where is this going to be used? This is going to be used by one of our customers. It's actually going to be used as a DJ laptop, believe it or not, rather than a work laptop. So what we're going to do is go through this, remove all the bloatware. And we're also going to tidy up the toolbar at the bottom. Okay, so that's the bloatware removed, and we've shut the device down, and we want to have a look at how long it takes to boot up. So start to finish boot time from being powered off. So we're going to hit the button, and then you'll be able to see how quick this starts up. Okay, so that was about 10 seconds. So let's have a look and see our system tray icon, see how long that takes to load. Okay, so that's about another 10 seconds, which is good. So this is before we've done any of the Windows updates. So this is a standard initial first setup, remove the bloatware, reboot, then power down, and then power on. So as you can see, the boot time on this device is very, very quick, which is great. And I wouldn't expect anything less with an NVMe drive installed. You know, any SSD drive works out around between 10 and 12 times faster than a spinning hard disk. So if you're purchasing a new laptop, you always want to make sure that the main boot drive is an SSD drive, and the main boot drive is the boot drive that contains your Windows operating system. If say for instance you've got a lot of data, then you can add a second spinning hard disk in this one, or a second SSD drive, and that will give you additional storage. So this comes with 512, so this is sufficient for what we need it for anyway. But we've got the ability to remove the back, take the back off, insert an SSD drive, make sure that's screwed in with the screws provided, and then that will give you the ability to have some additional storage. Okay, so let's now have a look at what the device comes with in terms of operating system. So this build is Windows 10 2004 version. So it's only one version down. We're now into the next version along, but we don't force that. So we'll let that install as and when Windows wants to install it. So all we do is we're going to go into the Windows Update facility, as you can see here, and we're going to run the Windows updates. So let's go in and install those. So in terms of the amount of updates, wasn't too bad. We've seen on the Dell machines where you get pages of them, but this is pretty good in actual fact. In terms of the updates, there's not a huge amount, sort of probably 10, 12 updates that are needed there, which is not bad at all. So we'll let that install, and then we will do another restart and then another shutdown, and then we'll have a look at the boot times as well, just to make sure that the boot times are still where they were. Okay, so that's all the Windows updates installed. So the way that you should do this is run the Windows updates. When it wants you to reboot, go back in again, run the Windows updates again, reboot again if you need to, go back in and keep running the Windows updates until finally you see this message up here saying you're all up to date. That way you know you're fully patched, you're fully up to date, and there's no other updates waiting to install. So that's what we've done on here. So we've removed all of the bloatware, we've done all the Windows updates. So what we want to do now is we're going to do another shutdown and then monitor the boot time to make sure that that's not increased significantly. Shouldn't have done. Okay, so that is now powered off, so let's give that a start. Okay, so that was even faster that time. That was about 5 seconds to start up, which is super. So let's talk about the price and where we got this from. So we bought this from Curry's PC World and it was £649. So that was reduced by, I think there was £20 off or something like that. So that includes the VAT and there was free delivery as well. So in terms of what we think overall of the laptops, or the laptop, so this is a great laptop. It will last for a significant amount of time, you know, 5 years plus, because of the i5 processor and the SSD drive basically. So is this good for home? Yep. Is this good for business? Yep, absolutely. Although if you're going to be using it for business, you're better off buying a business grade laptop because that comes with Windows 10 Pro and you'll be able to join it to a domain. Saying that, you can buy an upgrade key from Microsoft and just reinstall or change the license key, and then that will upgrade your version of Windows to Windows 10 Pro if you need it. So what else are we going to put on here? So we are going to be installing Google Chrome because they use G Suite for their email. So that's what we're going to be installing on here. We also install Adobe Acrobat Reader, the free version, and we will also be installing Microsoft Office 2019 Professional Plus, which is the standard standalone package that is supported going forward in terms of Office 365 integration. So say you've got business grade email, then that version will remain supported for a significant amount of time. Quality is really good. Build quality is excellent. Connectivity wise, there's plenty of options for you to plug in. So you've got your USB 3 Gen 1 here. You've got your two USB 3 Gen 2 here. And you've got your USB Type-C, which is Thunderbolt connectivity there. I really like the Thunderbolt connectivity because you can plug in an adapter that does your gives you an external additional display, gives you USB Type 3 ports, and it also gives you network port as well if you want it. So connectivity wise, in terms of what you can plug into this, for a home user, I would say 3 USB ports is probably significant because everybody has a Wi-Fi printer nowadays, so you're not going to be connecting a printer directly into it. You're going to be plugging in things like, I don't know, external hard disks, USB drives, that sort of thing. In terms of installing software, well, as we all know, everything is via the internet nowadays, so you can just go online and download the relevant drivers. Windows 10 is so good now that actually when you hook it up to your Wi-Fi, it will go off and discover all of the devices on the network, including printers, and set those up for you if it can. HP printers, you use the HP Smart application, and Canon printers, again, that will be recognised and it will install the application that allows you to install the proper drivers if you need them. So in terms of recommendations, yes, we recommend this product. If you found that video useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any questions, then just ask them in the comments below. I would say that if you're going to be attempting to install additional storage by way of another SSD drive or a hard disk in here, then just make sure that you go off to the Acer website, read up about it and find out what drives are supported, what aren't supported, and how you go about getting into the system. So we are now going to shut this down and we're going to show you the underside again and how to get the back off. We're not going to be taking the back off this because this is a brand new machine for a client, but if they want us to in the future to upgrade it, then we of course will do so. So as you can see on the back here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 screws holding the back on. It looks like that just comes off really easy. There's a nice little lip or edge around that you can get a prizer tool in there, and that will just pop off if you need to. Otherwise it will probably just lift straight off, and then you'll have the ability to add your additional storage underneath. So once again, just like to say thanks for watching.